What is Jiva? Let's find out.
Hey guys, this is Gus G and you're watching Guitar Gear Guy. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello everyone, how are you? This is yours truly, Triple G, coming at you once again, and today I have a guitar which I unboxed actually about 6 months ago. It's an Ibanez Jiva 10, and as most of you probably know, this is Nita Strauss' signature guitar. So before we go any further, let's give you a look of what this guitar looks like. There's the headstock. Found the ebony fretboard. Quilted maple top. Very beautiful maple, quilt. I don't know if the cameras are going to catch it. And then the body is, in some videos I saw Nita mentioning the body being mahogany. Ibanez's website says it's a wood called Nyato, N-Y-A-T-O-H. So I looked into it a little bit, and apparently it's a wood that is common in like the Philippines and Indonesia, that area, and it's not as a common wood here in the United States. And that segue nicely into where this guitar is made, which is, this is an Indonesian made. We now live in a day and age where Indonesian made a guitar now costs $13.99, $14.99. That said, if you told me that this guitar was made in Japan or Korea, I would not have guessed any other way, because guitar is really put together superbly. I really can't fault anything, although I do have one gripe which I'll cover in a bit. So as I said, the color of this model, I think they call it Deep Space Blonde. Now I'm colorblind, so I actually can't really tell very well, but looks more looks more green to me than blonde. But again, I'm colorblind, so don't take my word for it. But the quilt job and the burst, everything, it looks a lot like watching a dragon's exterior. That's kind of what it reminds me. And then as I showed you earlier, this is an ebony fretboard, and as you see, the inlay markers are what's called a beaten path, where it's like an EKG, like a heartbeat as you go, and tastefully done. As you go up the frets, the heartbeat gets faster and faster, right? So that is kind of cool. And the block inlay done to death, the dot inlay done to death. So something like this, outside of the PRS flying birds inlays, I find these very, very pleasurable to see. And then luminescent dot inlays up on the top of the fretboard as well, if you're performing on a dark stage, which is cool. And then the neck is 3-piece maple on the both side, and then purple heart right down the middle, which I believe is the way I had. One of my guitars has this exact same combination neck, and just solid and visually pleasing. The neck is satin. Now, I don't have another Ibanez with me here in my office. I can't really tell, but it seems like this is a very thin neck. And yet it has a little bit more body than other Wizard necks. It feels like to me. Definitely has a little bit more shoulder up on the top side here. So it's good for, like, for me anyways, it's good for me to have, you know, my thumb as I go up and down. As far as the tremolo is concerned, it's a floating tremolo by Ibanez. I think it's the Edge 0, Edge 2, Edge 2.0, something like that. Anyhow, I do prefer Ibanez's Edge tremolos over the Floyd. And this one is rock solid. It's great. Looks good. As far as the pickups are concerned, these are Nita Strauss, the signature DiMarzio Pandemonium pickups. So the neck and the bridge pickups are Alnico. And then the middle pickup is a ceramic pickup, and this is not a signature pickup. This is just the generic DiMarzio True Velvet. And as you can see on the pickups, wait for my camera to catch up. Okay, so the bobbins are gold, and then the pickup cover is somewhat of a dark black kind of thing with a lot of honeycomb holes in there to show the blonde bobbins behind. And me personally, the middle pickup always gets in the way of me strumming or picking, so I actually have my middle pickup driven all the way, you know, closer down to the body so it doesn't kind of get in the way, which my personal preference. Nothing wrong with the guitar itself. Master tone, master volume, 5-way switch, and the input jack. So this input jack right here, which is common to the Ibanez S series, Sabre series guitars, which, by the way, if you look from the side profile, very, very thin, and that's one of the features of S series guitars, which this particular guitar is based on. So they have the front access output jack, and if you are using a just regular straight, you know, cable, output cable, it's fine. But I love using my Line 6 G10 wireless transmitter, which then transmits wirelessly to, you know, the amp or whatever that I have connected to. So like this here will not go in here because the little recess that they have made here for the cable to go in and out, it is a little too thin for this entire body of my transmitter to be plugged into. Focus, focus, there you go. So because this can't go in, I have to use a cable. First world problem, I know, but it is something that I thought I would mention. If you're considering one of these and you happen to use a Line 6 G10 relay as well. As far as playability is concerned, what a guitar, you guys. I mean, for what it costs, you know, obviously it should play very well, and indeed it does. It's a pleasure playing this guitar. It's just so natural, and you know, all the contours on the body and the satin neck that is, you know, it just thin enough, but doesn't have like a big chunky baseball bat that gets in the way or anything like that. And you know, pickups are hot, very aggressive, and yet they're actually organic sounding as well. So you know, I'm sure the guitar is going to be very versatile. And when you look at this guitar, it's a, you know, classy looking instrument, right? It doesn't scream death metal or it doesn't scream jazz. The guitar is versatile enough where the volume gets turned down, then you could have really something nice and clean and mellow and all that stuff. As far as the signature guitars are concerned, as I always say, you know, guitar needs to be able to stand on its own without having a name attached. So let's say I take Nita's name away from this guitar. Is it a good enough guitar? Maybe the price could have been a little bit lower without her name attached to it. But as far as guitar itself, with an endorser attached or not, is a fine, fine instrument in my opinion. As far as the name Jiva is concerned, I think it's like a Buddhist philosophy. Somebody mentioned it on my unboxing video, which I'll link right here from 6 months ago. Some word from Buddhist philosophy, and I think it has direct meaning, which is what, soul, something like that. I forget, but look that up. Anyhow, so when I did the unboxing video of this guitar, Nita saw it on my Facebook page and offered that out, you know, if I could bring it to her on one of her local performances, that she'll be willing to autograph it for me, and which I intend to do to make it all official. I have not had a chance to go see Nita, even though she's just right here in my hometown. That said, one of these days I'm sure I'll run into her and get this thing autographed, so that would be great. And actually, just looking at it right now, behind the dark paint, I could actually see grain a lot like what's shown on mahogany. I don't know if cameras are going to catch it in the correct lighting. So maybe it is mahogany, but again, Ibanez's website says it's some wood called Nyato, whatever it's called. So anyhow, that's pretty much it for this guitar. It's just a gorgeous piece of instrument. For those of you who do care, the body cavity covers are sitting on top of the wood. They didn't carve and recess it down, so these covers are actually sitting right on top of the guitar. Does not have any kind of a locking machine heads here, and then as with all floating trem guitars, you do have a locking nut. So that about does it for this guitar. I hope this video was helpful if you are considering one of these. It's a great guitar. If you could get one, I highly recommend it. Another thing that bothers me just a little bit before I sign off is, for a guitar of this magnitude, with this beautiful top, with, you know, the price tag that it commands, the five-way switch having this little plastic thing right here covering up a lot of the top of the wood really does bother me. Maybe they could have done without that, with just the blade slot open. My phone is ringing. Alright, so anyhow, that's pretty much it for this guitar and this video. Hopefully I come and see you again soon, and thank you for your time. Until next time, you guys all take care.